Shout out to Yep, I Like Wrestling in the building, by the way. Sonny Sofrito.
Greetings from parts unknown. My name is Sonny Sofrito, and today I am joined by
Kervin, the co-founder of Yep, I Like Wrestling.
Okay. And I'm also joined by
the greatest general manager in Yep, I Like Wrestling history. Hello, gentlemen.
What up, man?
It's good to see you. Mr. Swagger, welcome back.
It's great to be back.
Yeah, I was surprised he didn't say KD Swagger.
I know. That's why I gave him his respect as Mr. Swagger. Hello, Sonny. How are you?
Yeah, you got to switch it up sometimes.
I know.
Yeah, I felt like you thought Tara was going to pop out and just crack jokes
Oh,
on this shit.
shout out to the Glamazon, who's limousine riding, jet flying. She's in Iowa.
No, not at all, actually. Not at all.
No, she's train hopping in the Bronx right now.
Oh, shout out to the D-Train. Speaking of D-Train,
God.
NXT was lit, as the children say. Sonny?
Yes, NXT was lit. We had an amazing weekend. I mean,
We did.
let's talk about the weekend that we had. You know what? Let's start off with the Friday before.
Oh, man. I already know where this is going.
I will step away while you two gentlemen discuss your Friday, because I have video footage, but you two go right ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So if you ever fire me, Sonny, I'm releasing it. So what'd you guys do this Friday?
Yeah. So we actually started off at Peter Rosenberg's Cheap Heat event at Sony Hall, which was amazing.
Shout out to Peter Rosenberg.
I had Mark Henry, Jeff Hardy, and Paul Heyman making appearances.
Aside from that, they also had Stat Guy Greg, the whole original Cheap Heat crew, Stat Guy Greg, David Shoemaker, and the Brian Campbell. And it was really, really good. And we also got to meet in person because we've met them on online so many times. Tim Hahn and his whole crew that does the Subway Mania videos.
Oh, yes.
Hype Man Kells, yes.
Yo, dude, those dudes were so freaking
They were.
cool, man. I mean, they were there in full
Yes,
attire.
Yes.
When me and Sonny approached them, they weren't in attire.
Oh, that's right.
And then that's when they got in attire, and we
Yeah,
just
yeah.
started taking pictures.
Yeah, because I was like, hey, can we take pictures? He's like, yeah, but hold on, let me put my tights. So,
That's exactly how it went.
I saw it on Instagram. I was like, oh, my God, look at this.
yeah, that was a lot of fun. Then,
Definitely, they're cool, down-to-earth people.
yeah, man, yeah. And, we got a chance to, connect with also Sam Roberts. He was real cool. We were bugging out with him for a little bit.
Quick shout out to a young gentleman named Dag who sent me the greatest video I've ever heard. So, Dag, if you're listening, I heard your video. I saw it. Oh, my God. Thank you so much. This is why we do that. But shout out to Dag.
Yeah, that was the thing that happened right after Cheapy because Dag was so cool, man.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, and he was like, when he told me and Kervin about how he listens, and I was like, so what's your favorite part? He was like, Teddy, man, Teddy's hilarious. I was like, you want to do a video for Teddy? He was like, yeah, I'm down.
Oh my God. I was home at my kitchen and I watched the video. It just warmed my heart.
And then we talked about your disclaimers as well.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
You did. So thank you for listening, Dag. Keep up the good work.
Exactly.
Then you two apparently went back. You went back in time because what I was watching was what 96, 1995. Where were you, Sonny? Were you back in 94?
More like 2009, but we definitely
No,
did go
no,
back.
No, it was further back than that. The music I heard.
No,
Yes.
See, so we went.
I was 14 again.
Shout out to my boy Ryan, and also my other boy Frankie Kochek, at LPR. When we were done, I was like, hey, you know what? Let's go to LPR and go hang out there. They on Friday nights they have a 90s and 2000s band that plays all these retro songs, and it was off the hook. And the moment we got there, well, that's actually before we got there, because we got there too early. Me and Kervin went across the street to another bar.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Well,
Plot thickens.
Yeah,
Okay.
where they had these $8 specials. So it was a shot and a beer. So after doing about
Two of those.
Was it two?
We did two of those.
Okay. I was a little blurry already from Sony Hall, so I thought it was like 4. But anyway, so yeah, we did that.
Good thing you didn't have my shots, too, because you asked me if you could have my shots.
No, I said if you didn't want to, I'll take it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Boys. There he is, officer. There he is.
Not good thing we were driving.
But the crazy thing is we had a lot of drinks and we had a lot of fun, and the funny thing is that yes, there is some archival footage on these internets, as Roger would say.
Oh, shout out to Roger.
Of me singing along to the band.
Yes.
Yo, dude, yeah.
It kept me up for hours after. I couldn't go back to sleep, Sonny. It was the worst thing I'd heard. Yes.
It wasn't that bad, was it?
It was bad.
Okay.
Like nails
I-
across a chalkboard.
I didn't think it was that bad, but that's just
Dude,
my
You were
opinion.
drunk with him. Of course you wouldn't think it was that bad. You were in the background. You were the hype man in this entire thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know what? He does have a point.
He does actually, but still.
As a matter of fact, the next day, somebody was hurting.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no, that was you.
No,
I was
yeah,
there.
it
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yes, I was. My feet were hurting. Yes, I admit that.
Yeah, that's the only thing you're gonna admit, right?
Yeah, no, my feet was hurting. My feet was hurting.
Well, I'll jump in here because I was here that day. Saturday was bananas, okay? NXT TakeOver in Brooklyn. I showed up. Sonny showed up. Shout out to Allison who showed up. Kervin showed up. Was that day not crazy, gentlemen?
Yeah, that's
Was the day not crazy?
Oh, definitely was crazy.
Yeah. You both look like worn out rags, but I looked amazing because I had just come from Jersey. Shout out to Newark. And yes, we filmed some awesome segments for Yep on the Street. And then
What happened?
it happened. Sonny, Sofrito, Spanish for cheap as shit, got us tickets to a suite in Barclays. Did you believe it?
I didn't believe it.
I thought he was ribbing us.
I thought so too.
I told my boyfriend, we'll be watching the show from Queens. But no. Little did I know, you pulled it out, Sonny. See what I did there?
Yes.
He pulled it out. And there we were in a suite at Barclays.
Uh-huh.
So, yes, big shout out to our suite mates, Heels on Mics, who shared the suite with us.
Yeah, shout out to those guys. They
Yes.
were really cool.
Some cute white boys. Very funny. So, yes.
Yeah,
Thank you, Sonny.
Who were getting a kick out of you
Oh yeah, definitely. They thought
gushing
they were
over
funny.
Ricochet.
Sonny, I was sliding. I had to
What
do
do you mean
my
you slided?
best.
You didn't slide.
I had to do my. I didn't want to fall over.
You didn't slide. You stood and jumped up and down like a prancing
Yup.
little girl.
It was my Miss Elizabeth moment. It was like when the mega powers were exploding. That's what I was doing.
You were standing.
Something was exploding.
Oh, it was.
You were standing during the whole match.
I could not sit down.
The funny thing was is that me and Allison stepped away to go get something to eat, and I'm like, "Hey, Teddy, you want something to eat? Teddy, you want something to eat?" And Allison just said, "Just leave him alone.
Please.
Just leave him alone."
Because you guys didn't get back until the match was well underway. I would have died had I missed Ricochet versus Adam Cole.
I was there the whole time, and I never saw Teddy more excited ever in my life.
Oh my God! First of all, this is my first. It was my first time in Barclays because I tried to get to Barclays. The tickets were $250. Now Mr. Swagger tells me they're giving them away like government cheese for $25 now. So
True.
it was my first time in Barclays. It was my first time at a live NXT, and it was my first time in a suite. So that was good.
Was it your first time in Brooklyn?
No, unfortunately, I work in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Like a cheap hooker. But yeah, it was a day of first. So thank you very much, Sonny. And did you have fun? Because I had a blast.
I had an amazing time. Thank you, Sonny, for the tickets.
Yes.
It's about time you do something nice for me.
Thank you.
Well, actually, thank you to Charlotte and Danny for hooking us up. They're some good friends of mine that I've known for a very long time. And they were like, "Hey, we got some tickets. You want them?" I was like, "Sure." So, yeah, thank you to you guys. You guys were awesome. And
We were
Yeah.
living the sweet life.
We were living too sweet.
Yeah.
Shout out to Peter. Peter was with us. Shout out to Roger. Roger was somewhere in the building.
Scott was also in the building.
Scott was in the building.
Kevin was in the building.
You see, it was like, oh my
There were a lot of people
It was a
in the building.
reunion. So let's talk about the show.
The show that
Shall
was
we?
NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4.
Overall, I thought it was a great show. I think every match was great.
As much as I hate to agree with you, I'm gonna do it.
Thank you, Teddy.
It was good. I'm a fan of NXT now, and not just for Ricochet. I'm an actual fan.
No,
you're
I know that, yeah. Because
Yes.
I saw you, you were like, yeah, I'm digging this now.
Oh, he was marking out, especially with the Mustache Mountain versus Undisputed Era match.
Where has Tyler Bate been all my life? No one ever told me about this, man. And I'm now stalking him on Instagram. Yes, Tyler Bate. There was a lot of baiting when I got home. See what I did there, Kervin? That's journalism. See how I did that?
I definitely saw that.
Tyler Bate is delish. So this is my question. Is this what Triple H has been doing? Because
Oh, yeah, he's been doing
this
it
is
for a
what
while.
he's been putting on.
Yeah. Triple H has created this indie promotion within the conglomerate known as WWE, and it's been amazing. I mean, he's getting talent from all over the place, but he's utilizing them in the proper way.
Oh my god! And if you had told me like in 2002, 3, when him and Stephanie were starting that whole terrible, McMahon Helmsley thing, in about 15 years, Triple H is going to be running his own thing. I'd have looked at you like you were crazy. But if this is what this man is putting on, it's amazing. There was no part of that show that for me lagged. It was like a solid 2 hours. They used every bit of the 2 hours. I didn't feel like come on, get to the next match. If this is what he's doing, wow.
The pacing of it was amazing.
Yeah, this is definitely what he's been doing. He's been doing it for a while. In my opinion, every NXT takeover has been great. There hasn't been not one that has been lackluster. He's been doing a great job. He's always been a student of the game as well, even back from his WCW days.
So I take my hats off to him. I feel bad for some of the things I've said. Some of them.
As you should.
So if this is what he's doing, kudos to him. So before we get into the show...
You definitely need to start watching their episodes.
I do. I will. Not just for Ricochet.
Now you got Tyler Bate now.
Oh, there was so much baiting going on. My word.
And Velveteen Dream.
Woo! EC3, who now has a black eye, unfortunately. They ruined the best part. But yeah, there are some definite studs. We got Velveteen, we've got EC3, we've got Tyler Bate, we've got Ricochet, Adam Cole, Shane Baszler, another handsome man who I just cannot keep my eyes off of. I was like, wow, Triple H's got some good tape.
Shayna.
I'm sorry, what?
Shayna.
That's an odd name for a man.
Those are the thoughts and opinions of Teddy.
All I asked was for a name.
To me, she looks like one of those butchers on Double Dragon, the
I'm
video
sorry, what?
game.
Are you telling me that's a woman?
Well,
Kervin, get your story straight. He thinks that's a girl over here,
Again,
Sonny.
those are the thoughts and opinions of Teddy. And they do
Of
not
Kervin?
represent-
He's the one. He's the one who's wrong.
They do not represent Yep, I Like Wrestling.
he's probably a fan of Double Dragon. That's why he didn't give me a disclaimer.
That
for
was a
one.
beautiful intergender match between him and Carrie Zane. It was. I was thoroughly impressed.
Or as Scott would call her, Kyrie Irving.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what that was about. So, first card on the match saw Mustache Mountain take on the Undisputed Era. Yeah, funny name for a tag team, but what'd you guys think of it?
I thought it was a great match, and I'm not surprised it was a great match. I'm not surprised it was open. I was more shocked that Undisputed Era is that much over. It felt like half the place in Barclays Center had an Undisputed Era shirt.
Yes.
Half? Dude, it was more like 75%.
Yes.
I mean, hey.
I saw a lot while we were filming Yep on
yeah.
the streets.
Yes.
Yeah, like it was like their merch sales are ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know?
Speaking of which, shout out to Jeremy, Ivan, Kenny, and Marcus, some of the people who stopped by for our Yep on the Street segments. But yeah, it was a lot of Undisputed Era shirts and a lot of Bay t-shirts in the audience as well. But yeah, Mustache Mountain, I think, did a phenomenal job.
And I'm glad that Roderick Strong, who's part of the Undisputed Era, is actually getting a great run. Since he's been with Undisputed Era, he's been on a roll, in my opinion. And I'm not surprised that they had a great match.
So that being a great tag team match led us right into a dream match, if you will.
Velveteen Dream?
Oh, my God. A tall glass of chocolate milk took on EC3.
And that was when I actually came into the arena because I was waiting for a certain someone with their ticket outside. So shout out to the Boulevard Bullies who I was hanging out with for a minute, and we did. We interviewed each other for a little bit, but that sounded dirty, didn't it? But yeah.
What's up with those tights that Velveteen Dream had on, man? Call me up, Vince. What was that all
That
about?
shit was dope, dude.
Oh, there was something written on his tights?
Yeah, there was.
Sorry, I was occupied. Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
the match was great. You think he's ready for Raw or SmackDown?
Me personally, I don't think he's ready because of the fact that he's only been wrestling for about 2-3 years. That's it. So hopefully he has more time in NXT so he could develop his character even more. And when he actually gets brought up to the main roster, they have something solid for him to do.
I agree with you, but I also look at it on another level as well. I feel like even if he was ready, there's not enough room for him to make a splash if he was to go up there.
Of course, there's a lot of guys up there.
Because the thing is that right now, and we're gonna get to the main roster in a little bit. I feel like the main roster is full of a lot of talent that they do not know what to do with. So if he was to go up there, I think it would actually hurt him than help him.
I agree. That's why I say he should stay down at NXT for as long as possible.
There is a bit of a NXT curse. I hate to say that word, but men who have been awesome in NXT come to the main show and flounder.
And then the other way around, guys or people that really didn't do good in NXT and they do great in the main roster. Elias, Alexa Bliss are two people.
Yeah.
God.
Oh, God. You know what? Going back to this SummerSlam weekend, which for me actually started off on Thursday because I went to Sam Roberts' daytime show over at Caroline's. he did an interview with Alexa Bliss. That interview was amazing. I thought it was one of the best wrestling interviews I've ever seen because he got a real insight to the type of person she is, like, and her growing up. And I just thought it was a great interview. I loved it. You know, I was pissed that I had to leave because, you know, I basically stepped over there while I was on lunch, and you know, Samoa Joe came out, and I was like, damn it, I gotta go back to work. Crap.
His cold, dead eyes. I asked a lot of gentlemen while I was filming out at Barclays, who would you like to be trapped in an elevator with? Overwhelmingly, Alexa Bliss. Even some of the girls said, yeah, it would be Alexa Bliss. So, yes.
She's actually really gorgeous in person.
She's over.
No, but she's really gorgeous in person.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
I got to hang out with some pretty girls, Sonny. Would you like to tell everyone one of the prettiest girls I got to hang out with?
I remember that. I think she's like a princess. Princess of.
Yes.
What is that? Is it hardcore?
Oh, yes. Who did I do an interview with, Kervin? Tell all our listeners, please.
Noelle Foley.
Oh, the Noelle Foley.
Yeah, that was pretty dope, man.
That interview's going to be up at some point. Check it out. She is amazing. She's so much fun. I'm kind of amazing, so anyway, but you all know that because that's why you're listening.
Teddy's still pinching himself.
I was a bit starstruck. She's pretty. She's pretty.
You even pulled out a fan.
I would have really tried to shoot my shot if that was what I was into.
The funny thing is that you took off your hat, you know, and we're like, am I hallucinating? Is that Noelle Foley there?
Well, first off, it was 1,002 degrees. And I thought I was hallucinating from the heat stroke because there's this pretty white girl standing there, and I'm like, wow, she looks like Noelle Foley. And then she didn't move. She just stood there talking, and I'm like, wait, she's not leaving.
No, but the thing that made me laugh was when you asked me if that was her, and I said, "Oh yeah." And I just looked at Noelle and said, "Hey, Noelle, what's going on?"
Such a nonchalant response to a celebrity standing by. So he's like, "Oh yeah, this happens all the time." You'll be surprised to hear me. So yeah, shout out to Noelle Foley. Shout out to Chris, City Vita, Day, Jamal, Justin. Yeah, everyone was showing us some love, just coming on through.
Speaking of pretty women, I say this sarcastically. Shayna Baszler took on Kairi Sane.
You're still pretending this is a girl. This is funny. Yes, that match was great.
You know what?
The title change.
I really need to give you a disclaimer right now.
Yes.
The thoughts and opinions of Kervin
Why?
are his, and they do not represent Yep I Like Wrestling.
I said sarcastically.
Exactly.
Another stellar match. And the title changed hands.
Yeah, but you know what? The way that title changed hands made them both still look very strong. Though.
Yes.
Because it was a great booking that, you know, she could have been moments away from tapping out, but she was able to just hold on for the 1-2-3 pin. Yeah. It was great. It was a great match.
So
hopefully they continue that angle with both of them because I feel they're not finished yet.
Yeah, me too. I feel that.
Okay, well, maybe you just answered my question because normally don't we drop titles when someone's being called up to the main roster?
Usually, yeah, but it's always like around WrestleMania. But I kind of hate that because I feel, you know, people are getting brought up to the main roster too quickly.
But even more so though, we've had situations even closer to WrestleMania where title has changed hand. I think it was with Bayley and was Bayley and Sasha?
Yes, it was Bayley. Bayley wasn't drafted, and then about 3 months later, if I'm right, she was brought up to the main roster, and it was a match where they had a mystery partner in, and she was brought up.
Yeah, so it's like they don't always do it. They usually do it, but at the same time, I mean, I think this feud has more legs that it could continue going for a little bit longer.
Thank God. I was afraid that Shayna Baszler was going to be on Raw.
I was actually imagine her doing Raw. Anyways,
shout out to Noja.
I was going to say that with Shayna Baszler and her facing Kairi Sane, that, you know, even though I'm surprised that Shayna Baszler even lost the title because I thought she was going to go over Shayna Baszler since she lost in the Mae Young Classic Finals, but I guess that wasn't the case.
Shout out to the lady who was dressed as Kairi Sane out at Barclay, full-on cosplay.
I wanted her to be on Yep on the Street, but we couldn't do that.
She was in line behind Allison and I at Starbucks.
Yeah. I mean, that right there is just an amazing image.
Yes.
Within itself.
Yes.
You know, and that's like one of those things I love about Comic-Con when you just see people like dressed as Mario and Luigi and shit, waiting for Starbucks.
Or even Spider-Man and Venom, which we're into. Oh
my God! Shout out to Spider-Man and Venom.
Exactly.
Only up on the street.
Yo, those dudes would have me cracking up.
Oh dear.
Let's move on to another match that someone's going to get super excited about. So, Ricochet defeated Adam Cole, baby, for the North American Championship.
Sunny.
Actually was a great match, I think. It might have been the best match throughout the whole weekend.
My feet barely touched the ground. It was so good to watch.
Your feet was on the ground. You were standing the whole time, jumping up and down.
It was my Miss Elizabeth moment. I needed him to win because we were in the same room. I needed him to win.
I never saw you that happy.
So in other words, you were floating?
I was floating.
Like a mythical creature?
Yes.
He was sliding on clouds.
I was sliding. I was sliding all around the Barclays Center in midair.
Did you have pixie dust?
I was a bit of a fairy, yes. All I was missing was my wings. But he was like right there. It's like, he's right here. Like, it was like he was in the room. Like, there he is, right there. I only thought about one time jumping the barricade. One time. That was the only one time it happened. I was like, I could make this, but then I was wearing flip-flops. I was like, I wouldn't have gotten far.
Thank goodness you didn't do that.
I know, but it was good to be there. And then he won. Like, he could feel my energy in the arena, and he won. You're welcome, Ricochet. Shout out to Ricochet.
Shout out to restraining orders.
Oh, Sonny. It's funny because it's true.
Adam Cole is really, really over. I mean, I knew he was over, but I didn't know he was that over because when he came out, it seemed like everyone pulled out their phone to record him.
I was on the train. If I heard Bay Bay one more time on the train, I was going to fucking jump off of it. Like,
so that was exactly what you just said, Kervin, is exactly the reason why I thought he was going to lose. Because he's so over that I feel like he's on the cusp of a bigger title push. So I feel like he's going to go on to take on and
I agree with that. I know exactly where you're going with that.
He's going to go after the NXT Championship, which now let's discuss that. Mm-hmm. You know, that shit was brutal, man.
They literally tore the house apart. Literally.
Yeah. That's exactly what they did.
Last man standing.
Wow. Last man standing. Last ring standing.
Last man handcuffed.
I felt it was creative how the ending was where Tommaso Ciampa was handcuffed and he kind of just like pushed himself over and he was on the ground.
Technically standing.
Yeah, technically standing. I felt that was like, I've never seen something like that before.
Yeah. But I'm still wondering if there is still more to this feud because usually, a last man standing match is usually the final chapter in a feud. But when Tommaso Ciampa kept on coming out and teasing, that whole thing at the end of the whole show, it was like, all right, are they done or they're not done?
There's more.
So I feel like there's going to be more coming, but I think we're going to have Adam Cole
baby
treading water a little bit.
Well, and
then he's going to get into that mix. Because of
Aleister Black's injury, I could definitely see Adam Cole going in there doing what he was supposed to do because this was supposed to be a triple threat match.
That's right.
So maybe the next time these guys face each other, NXT TakeOver, it'll be against all three. Adam Cole being involved with Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa.
Or if Aleister Black comes back, then it's a fatal four-way.
Yeah, exactly. And I would love for Adam Cole to get that title some way, somehow, because I think he's very charismatic.
That'd be a great fatal four-way for Survivor Series.
Oh, definitely. I definitely agree. Hopefully, Aleister Black gets back.
Silly question, but I need to ask it.
Go ahead.
Adam Cole is Michael Cole's son?
Not at all.
No.
Damn it! And I knew I was being led astray when that boy told me that. Damn you on the 4 trade. Damn you to hell.
Yo,
not at all.
He said it on the 4 trade, and I knew he was leading me astray.
But EC3 is Dixie Carter's nephew.
Okay. Shout out to Dixie Carter.
Well, K-Fab-wise. Not really in real life.
So that I've seen before. Yeah. I knew he was lying to me. The candy should have been the dead giveaway. Damn you. Anyway, shall we move on to SummerSlam, gentlemen?
Sure, why not?
Might as well. Again, at the Barclays Center, that Sunday, we had some ups, we had some downs.
You was at the Barclays Center, Teddy?
No, I was at Legends.
I could have sworn I saw you at
You
Legends.
saw me at Legends with the Glamazon, dressed as Ruby Riott, doing her best Ruby Riott / Liv Morgan impression.
Yeah, that's funny because she had her blue tongue.
She did.
And
There
I-
were
and I- and
a
I
lot of
looked-
happy Smurfs.
And I looked up and down. I looked up and down her. I was like, yo, who are you supposed to be?
She looked like a very pretty Ruby Riott.
She was Ruby Morgan.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
I
exactly
was
what she
like,
was.
yo, who are you?
Live Riot.
It was.
She was the Riot Squad. The
was
one
tremendous.
woman Riot Squad.
She was.
A hybrid of them.
She was. It was very interesting watching her reapply that blue tongue. Yes, I find myself much closer to Tara now. In any event, yes.
Good thing she figured out how to get the blue tongue.
I really want to say something, but I know Sonny will cut it out.
Nah, it had nothing to do with Smurfs.
yeah.
You don't know Tara.
No, I already
She's
know.
lived.
I already know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
so
in
you
any
know what?
event,
We're
I
just
want
gonna-
to say, but you know.
You know what? We're just gonna say this. Tara, you know what we're thinking.
you know exactly what I'm thinking. Shout out to Facebook. Anyway, Andre Cien Almas and Zelina Vega took on Rusev, Lana, and a big old fustercluck. Yeah. Gentlemen.
I love me some Zelina Vega.
Do you?
Yeah, that's child support money. Throw it in the air, man.
Oh,
Go ahead, man.
no.
Give me a disclaimer. I really don't care. I have
Shout
to say
out
that.
to Seaman. My word.
I'm not gonna give you a disclaimer. I'm just gonna disclaim you, bro.
Really, Zelina? My only thing with Zelina Vega, what is that thing on her head? It's like she's attending her own quinceanera. I don't get what's on her head.
Well, she does have the height of a 15-year-old, so I guess.
Oh, that's bad, man.
She does.
she's
She's
tiny,
tiny. So tiny.
No, she is tiny. She actually, from what I heard, she doesn't like when people ask her how tall she is.
I wouldn't if I was only 3'6".
Yeah, I would ask her how short are you.
But the whole match
even
to
worse.
me fell flat. I don't think it pushed anyone. I don't think anyone benefit from that match.
No, that was the problem I had with the booking of all this because there's no payoff in it.
Yes.
They're all. It doesn't make sense. You're sacrificing one side to push the other, but then the other side is not really getting the push. And the side you're sacrificing initially is Almas and Zelina Vega to benefit Rusev and Lana and Aiden English, but at the same time, it's kind of going in circles like, what are you doing? Are you treading water? So it's just a whole thing where I feel like they're just putting them in there just to get them some light, some coverage, and we're just like, blah.
I think they want to give momentum to Zelina Vega as well as Cien Almas,
Yes.
but also slightly bury Rusev and Lana just so they can do a Aiden English heel turn.
Okay.
And then have Aiden English do an angle with Rusev as a heel in the long term. That's just the take that I get from that angle.
That's possible.
Well, you just need to hurry up and get to it.
Yeah, 'cause I mean that's one of the problems with wrestling, and that's one of the problems with wrestling, and more so wrestling today. Back in the day, you would take a month, 2 months, sometimes even close to a year to do a certain angle.
Yes.
In the era that we live in now, where everything is immediate and everything's on TV and we have so much exposure, when something goes more than 2-3 weeks sometimes, it's like, all right, it's gone too long.
If it's not good, it's too long.
Well, if it's not good, then after 2 times seeing it, it's
Yes.
like, all right, it's a wrap. So it's hard to do a slow build because of the era we live in, and I feel like they're having a hard time getting into that position. Even though the funny thing is that on NXT they're able to do it, because I mean Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa have been freaking fighting for about a year and a half, or it feels like a year and a half, but it's not gotten tired. But with some of these things where it's like you're in
so tired.
exactly, so you're constantly in hurry up and wait mode, that it's a little hard to watch.
The attention span for viewers is less now than ever. I
Oh,
feel.
that's also another factor because, yeah, we have so much exposure, so we're seeing it more. We're seeing it same amount of time that people would have seen it back in the day over a 6-month period, plus you factor in the attention span, it's even harder. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well, that's why Netflix is a billion-dollar industry. People can't wait week after week for episodes. They want the whole season right now, watch it in 2 days. So they want that immediate satisfaction, and we're not getting it from Zelina and CN. Although, not a bad three-way. Speaking of which, moving on, the Raw Tag Team Champions, the B Team, took on the Revival.
B Team.
Their entrance music, I would admit, is actually catchy.
Shout out to the Spirit Squad.
As Teddy would say, it gives you a bug in your ear.
It does.
I wouldn't have changed it, but it is catchy. I'll admit that.
The SummerSlam match itself was, a bit lackluster, but they did retain to have their belts. Seth Rollins took on Dolph Ziggler.
I felt it was a great match. I really did.
I've heard people say that was the best match.
I think that was the best match.
Yeah,
Do you?
I'm glad. I think it was the best match of the whole night, and I'm also glad that it was actually first. It gave the actual event a big pop.
I missed the entire match. I was in the bathroom giving a hand job. Shout out to Legends.
I was doing the raffle, so
Yeah, I was actually doing something. It definitely was.
you were outside smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, it probably was.
Yes.
But, you did skip a match that none of us really care about.
No, I didn't.
And what match is that?
No, I didn't.
That was Cedric Alexander versus Drew Gulak.
If you don't pay
Yes.
attention to it, it doesn't exist, Sonny.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to Zack Ryder.
So like that whole tree falls in the forest, no one's there to
We
hear it.
can't neglect 205 Live. Come on, Teddy.
Yes, we can.
Actually, typical
Teddy does it
cruiserweight
every
match.
week.
Do
Teddy
every single week. You ignore it like a side bitch's baby. Just ignore it.
Damn, son.
What? Oh, I'm the only one who lives in the hood?
You don't give him a disclaimer. I will.
Come on now.
It's kind of
Come
hard.
on.
It's kind of hard for me to give a disclaimer when I'm from the hood. Though.
It's funny because it's true.
I'm from the hood too, but
Yonkers doesn't count.
Yonkers does count.
Shout out to Yonkers.
Come to my way.
Ugly
you'll see it.
stepbrother of the Bronx. So, the New Day defeated
Well, we didn't
Wait.
We didn't finish with the Cedric Alexander match, but
No,
We
I
did,
didn't.
son.
No, we did.
We did.
Okay.
We did. We actually, I didn't finish with the Seth Rollins thing. Yo, did you notice he came out dressed like Thanos?
What was
Yeah, I
that
seen
about?
that,
He
I
had
seen
one boot, one shoe, this, the other. What?
Yeah, but you know what? That shit was dope, though.
nah, I think so. Yeah, it was definitely was. I love when they're creative on the special events, like
Yeah.
the big 4 pay-per-views, and they get creative with their outfits. I love that.
Let him go RuPaul's Drag Race elsewhere, please. This is SummerSlam. Please.
Jesus Christ.
Can we move on to the
thoughts of the-
SmackDown tag?
The thoughts and opinions of Teddy
Oh,
do not
come
represent
on.
the thoughts or opinions of Yep, I Like Wrestling.
Man, Teddy, come on, man.
All right. So, the New Day defeated the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Bludgeon Brothers, by disqualification.
Yes.
So, like, at this point, I think I was running up and down. So, did they hit him with, did they, like, lose because they got hit with some foreign pancakes or some shit? Like, what the hell happened?
I don't know exactly what happened, but rumor has it an injury happened in that match, and that's why there was a disqualification.
Really?
Yes.
So
Eric,
that's what happened with Eric Rowan, because today,
Eric Rowan supposedly tore his bicep during the match, and he toughened it out. So I guess they did an audible. I don't know if New Day was supposed to win or not, but they did an audible in that match to say, you know what, let's just do a disqualification. And that was that.
Damn, man. You see, all kidding aside, I got to say I respect the shit out of all these wrestlers that put their lives on the line in the ring, because they sometimes, they get hurt.
Oh, yes.
And they finish those matches.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, going all the way back to, not going all the way back, but like the first person that pops in my head is, I think, of Triple H when he tore his the quad clear off the damn bone.
Yes.
And finish the match. We have, Stone Cold breaking a neck and still finishing the match. There's countless stories of wrestlers getting hurt, but because
Finishing.
so many of them are straight up professionals, they're like, you know what? Nah, I'm not. We got to finish this match. The fans. And you know what? We give you guys nothing but props. This is why we are Yep, I Like Wrestling, because we got a lot of respect for all the talent that's in the ring. But
And you couldn't even notice. Like, I didn't notice that Rowan was hurt.
no,
I didn't notice at all.
I didn't know. I didn't notice anything. It was funny because it wasn't until we were recording on a Wednesday, and It was like about 3 hours ago that I had gotten the alert, and I sent it to our text group, and I was like, hey, this guy is going in for surgery. You know, we didn't even know anything was going on. We were surprised, actually.
So I guess, we'll see what happens in the future.
Well, shout out to Luke Harper's single push.
His mid-card run. He might have to bring out that dirty tank top now.
Oh, the dirty tank top.
That's what that bombao.
So, Braun Strowman took on Kevin Owens to retain his Money in the Bank.
Which was a squash match.
Squash-O-Rama.
Feel sorry for KO signing that 5-year deal and then get squashed in the big pay-per-view.
He's a big old boy. He can take it.
You know, I was really shocked by how fast that match was. I mean, I mean, then again, I was rooting for KO to win somehow and get the Money in the Bank briefcase, but I was surprised he got squashed so fast, man. That shit was crazy.
I mean, when he did get squashed, I said to myself, you know what? I think Braun Strowman is going to cash in later on that night.
Yeah.
Because usually, when someone needs to cash in, they usually have, a quick match.
Yeah, exactly. But, we're going to touch on that as we continue further on down the line. So our next match was Charlotte Flair defeating Carmella and Becky Lynch to win the SmackDown Women's Champion.
That's what I've been waiting for since the whole podcast started. I'll let you have it, Teddy.
At this moment, we're going to let Teddy just go ham, buddy.
Yeah. Right up there with the streak coming to an end. Just one of those things that kicks you in the one ball when you only have the one. Kicks you right in the scrotum. Becky turns on Charlotte. Never thought I'd see the day.
Never thought I'll see the day neither.
You know what? You didn't watch NXT.
No, I didn't.
I really like Becky as a heel.
I didn't like. Did she have to do what she did that way? She turned. She literally became Sasha and Bailey, and they just made fun of. Hey, we're not Sasha and Bailey, and then they went and did it.
I'm not a fan of Becky Lynch, but I loved her heel turn. And people thought Sasha was gonna turn heel, but it was Becky Lynch first.
Rabid Wolverines in Brooklyn were cheering when she was beating Charlotte to a point. They were cheering. Do we have no respect for the Flair family? Come on, man.
I mean, it's Brooklyn, so.
Oh God.
Shit.
The armpit of America. I didn't like the match because of how it ended.
I thought New Jersey was the armpit of America.
No. New
You know
Jersey's
what?
the jockstrap of America. Pay attention,
You
Kervin.
know what? Honestly, both being the armpit of America, I'll allow it.
Oh. Okay, don't get me wrong.
What is the right armpit?
And what's the left? There you
Yeah,
go.
I was gonna mention something like that.
Okay, so Charlotte got her belt back, as she should. A Flair should have gold. Shout out to Flair for the gold, WCW. Then it was just ruined by Becky losing her mind, turning on Charlotte, but the fans loved it, so the match was successful. What do you gentlemen
I think the fans loved it because they didn't expect it.
Yes.
I didn't expect it. But when they were hugging for a while, I said, yo, I think Becky might turn heel. And then it happened.
Which that's gonna make me. I'll remember that part because I'm actually gonna mention that again. So, but yeah, Becky beat the shit out of her.
Oh, she gave her a beat out already.
That shit was definitely on site.
She did it great, man. I loved it. And I'm not a Becky fan.
Neither am I.
I always liked Becky. I like her even more now. Let's move on to Samoa Joe defeating AJ Styles by disqualification.
Speaking of beatdowns from a cold-hearted dead person, yes.
I didn't like the fact that match was in the middle of SummerSlam, the middle of the card.
You wanted it moved later?
Moved up. Yeah, it's
Moved sooner?
No, moved up meaning
Further up the card.
Further up the card is the WWE titles. AJ Styles, Samoa Joe.
The lineage does deserve to be towards the end of the show, to be honest with you. But what I will say is surprising to have more than one disqualification on a card like this. Mm-hmm.
I'm not surprised by that.
I'm surprised by Wendy Styles getting multiple offers from men to be her new husband. Yes.
I was surprised that she was there.
Yes. Clutching her child. Samoa Joe, I believe, said something like, I'll be your daddy. Like, wow. So I'm going to ask you gentlemen a question. If you're at a club and a man disrespects your girl or your lady, do you have to beat him up? Is that just like a general rule?
Yeah.
So you have to.
Yeah.
Do you have to do it, Kervin?
At least make some effort. At least say something. At least look like a tough guy.
See, Kervin's like, yeah, no, I'm saying straight up, yeah.
Yeah, you have
no,
to. So that's like a rule.
let's let's put it like this. If me and Allison are somewhere and someone disrespects Allison,
Yes.
now this is an audio podcast, but Teddy, you're looking at my eyes.
Yes.
Look at that look I have in my
yeah.
eyes.
Well, yeah, you don't want to make Sonny mad. I know that.
He's giving me that cold, dead Samoa Joe eye thing
Yeah.
going on
So
here.
it's like, yeah, that shit. Mm-mm.
So, as we say in New York, you got to put them paws on them, right? That's what happens?
Paws, chairs, bottles,
Oh, God.
bats.
Oh, shout out to the Bronx. Yes. Okay. So so what AJ Styles did to Samoa Joe was totally on point because Samoa Joe looked at Wendy, said what he had to say, and then AJ snapped and went crazy. So that was basically real. That was a documentary, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that match had a wow factor, especially since Samoa Joe got on top of the table and he called out AJ Styles' wife. You know, I love stuff like that. I love when they do things outside of the box, and I think they did with that.
I think the thing that makes it a little bit more intense is the fact that he is a born again Christian, and he was on some like, yo, I'm gonna act like I'm act
Savage.
hood.
He went savage.
He went savage. So it's like,
Was it me, or did that match have a bit of an ECW type feel to it? Where in ECW they would say things like, I'm going to be your daddy, or they would bring a family to ringside.
Or Attitude Era type of thing.
Because you remember when they had the whole Kane Dewey thing, when Mick Foley, when the crowd was shouting, Kane Dewey?
yeah, I guess. But you know what? I mean, to me, it actually felt more like a throwback to even, and yes, I'm old, the NWA stuff. I mean, they've done that stuff, and they've done that stuff back then. I mean,
Don't mess with a person's wife. Remember when Jake Roberts and Rick Rude had that feud over Jake's wife? Because
was
Rick Rude kept
legendary.
putting her face on his tights.
yeah.
And The Undertaker with Sarah and DDP. Yeah, you don't mess with a man's wife, apparently. You just don't do that.
Yeah. I mean, it goes all the way back.
Oh, definitely, man. You definitely don't mess with Undertaker's wife that he has now, Michelle McCool, whether you know her or not.
So, we do. I do know Michelle McCool. Funny
do?
you should
You
say.
do? Wow.
I do. I was going to say Sarah, but yes, I do know Michelle McCool.
Wow, what a coincidence.
Speaking of wives, The Miz took on Daniel Bryan with Maurice, his wife, at ringside. So we finally got the match that's been building for what seems like 5 years. What did you gentlemen think of it?
I love the build up for this. I think Miz is amazing.
Yes.
I've always given him credit for the work that he's done, but I'm an actual Miz fan. Slowly but surely, I'm becoming a big one because this guy does so much amazing stuff. Big fan of the Miz.
Oh, gotcha.
Slowly but surely.
I do love a good brass knuckle. I actually own a pair of brass knuckles, so I always enjoy seeing those in wrestling. Shout out to William Regal. What do you think of this match?
All right, so now I'm gonna break some shit down because Kervin and I had a conversation about this. I believe it was earlier today or yesterday. So this match, along with a lot of the other matches, the build-up was freaking horrible, and a lot of it had to do with timing. The timing of a lot of the build-up didn't make this a must-see card. The matches themselves was must-see. The build-up to it was not. And this match in particular should have been on either this past WrestleMania, where it was fast-tracked, because it would have been something that no one expected, or it should have been held off longer as a slower build, even though I know what I just said, but I think they could have timed it out a little bit better for next WrestleMania. And the fact that they put it on this card, given some of the other stuff that had went on surrounding the talents, like Kane unexpectedly getting hurt. And, The Miz kind of like being in shallow water, for lack of a better phrase. So it was almost as if the timing of this worked against the match itself. So it should have either been delayed longer or fast-tracked to this past WrestleMania, and then it would have became an exciting match. By dropping it into SummerSlam, it didn't feel exciting. It didn't feel on the level of what it should have been.
Now, I wasn't agreeing with Sonny before we had this conversation.
I never do
which
that.
was, I don't know, maybe a day or two, like he said.
Yeah, exactly.
But then after he explained it, I said, you know what, yeah, you do have a great point. He could have, Daniel Bryan could have been in a situation where he was bullied by The Miz, and Daniel Bryan said, you know what, let me do everything I can to get cleared by the doctors, and let me have this match at WrestleMania, and they could have had the match at WrestleMania 34. So, and I kind of agreed with him after that. But I actually, I liked everything that happened here in SummerSlam, and I think they have something better for both of them down the line.
Yeah, I mean, the match was great. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But
the match was great.
I felt like the build-up just fell flat. And it just, I didn't have the same excitement for the match that I originally
Me personally, I enjoyed the build-up, but that's just my opinion.
It was flat for me, too. Mainly because of Nikki Bella. Speaking of which, the Demon Finn Balor made his glorious return.
She was nowhere near in that match, though.
Nah, she was backstage. I was bored, so I knew she was somewhere close by.
So as long as she's in the same state.
I can feel it.
Yeah,
I can feel it.
I guess.
It's like a wisdom tooth. You know it's coming.
Remind me to bring up the Bellas in a moment.
Oh, do we have to?
Yeah.
So Finn Balor took on Constable Corbin, and surprise, surprise, the Demon showed up.
I loved it.
And
loved it.
That made the entire crowd at Barclays pop, and the crowd at Legends went fucking bananas.
Oh yeah, there was a banana, Sonny. I assure you. Yes, there was. Because it was Constable Corbin versus Finn Balor. Oh, yes. I've been waiting all night for that match, Sonny.
Wow.
But let me tell you, I am the only person in all of the world who does not like the Demon Balor. Everyone else went crazy. I hate the Demon.
Really?
I do.
I love it. I wish they did it more often.
Everyone. The Page went crazy.
Yeah,
Barclays, Legends.
Yeah,
I do not like the Demon because he's covered up. I don't like it.
I thought they were never going to bring him out again.
I was happy with that.
Yeah, I was actually wondering if they're going to bring out the Demon in rainbow colors.
Oh, God, Sonny, don't break. Please don't. Oh, God.
Oh, man, it's bad, man.
It's like gay pride in Iraq. I just don't want to see how it looks. I just don't. Sonny, please.
Oh, my God. That's low right there.
Yeah, I know. But the match was decent. It was. I don't like the Demon because he's covered. I don't like that. I like the fresh face Finn, and he's a good worker. I don't like him covered and all that extra.
It's the theatrics of it.
Oh, absolutely.
That raises that expectation.
Yeah, it does.
And I mean, when I saw him come out, I think Alice was talking to me. I just totally freaking forgot what she was saying. She was like, "What's going on?" And then she just gave up on me. and then after that, I was like, then I stopped and I actually explained it to her, and she was like, "Oh, okay." And then she went back to drinking.
I liked it. I know you think he's a waiter, but
I wonder if they're gonna bring out the Demon King for only once a year now.
We'll see. We'll see. It would be nice because you don't want to use it too much. It's like a condom. After 3 or 4 times, you don't want to use it anymore. So like just every now and then, but not a lot.
No, I definitely agree with that. That's actually the plan for them. They're not to use it that often because at one point it was for every pay-per-view, and then now they broke it down to like once or twice a year.
And also, Teddy, that's not how they work.
What?
Condoms, that's not how they work.
Yeah, they break after 1 or 2, man.
Really? I got a good 5 uses out of one time. That was a good weekend.
Was it the same banana you used with
totally
Baron
different.
Corbin and Finn Balor?
Totally different. Shout out to Baron Corbin. Moving on, speaking of guys with makeup, Jeff Hardy. What'd you guys think?
This match was all right. I mean, it wasn't one of the best matches of the card.
Yeah.
At the same time, it wasn't one of the worst ones on the card. But
I think both men have done better work. Maybe they're just tired at this point. But I've seen Shinsuke and I've seen Jeff do better.
They probably needed more time. But obviously, with so many matches on the card, you really don't get that much time.
The show started at 2 a.m. What's that, Sonny?
This was a match to just get it out of the way and just let's move on. Which, by the way, I felt like a lot of this card was about wrapping things up to start anew, going into post SummerSlam, which we're gonna discuss on, our next episode. But yeah, this match was whatever to me. I was just like, whatever.
I mean, I do like Jeff Hardy's face paint. It's really, I think it's one of the best in all of wrestling right now.
Shout out to Tara.
Oh, she does love Jeff Hardy.
Because he can see with his eyes closed.
He can see with his eyes closed. Again, I'm not a fan. I don't like face paint. I'm not a fan of face paint. I'd like a fresh face and do it. So Jeff Hardy, I'm not a fan of that. But I've seen both men do better. So it was just a blow off, if you will. Speaking of things I'd never blow, Ronda Rousey took on Alexa Bliss. I would not blow either of those ladies. Gentlemen, do you agree?
I don't know, man. I'm starting to have a crush on Ronda Rousey. I wasn't.
Wow,
liking
that
her.
hurt to hear.
I mean, I think one of our previous episodes, I mentioned how she's one of those girls that think they're all that, But hey, I don't know. I liked how she looked in SummerSlam.
While you try to figure out your crush or non-crush on Ronda Rousey, I need to stop this podcast right now and discuss the fact that Teddy's no longer the general manager.
I was hoping we wouldn't have to discuss that, Sonny.
And why? Why is that? What happened?
Wait, you don't listen to the episodes?
Yeah, I do listen to episodes. I don't
All
remember.
right, Brock Lesnar, do you not watch the product
I
as
do.
well?
I do watch
guy.
the product, but I don't recall you being removed from your title.
If Ronda was to get the belt, I would resign as general manager.
Oh, that's right.
Sonny has the mind like a bear trap when he's not drinking, so obviously he remembered it. And here we are.
But you're still the greatest general manager.
I am.
And yep, I like wrestling history,
am.
though.
I
That's
am.
something we can never take
You
away.
can never take that away, like my dignity. Shout out to Whitney Houston.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I see.
Those are the thoughts and
I
opinions
was
of
praising
Teddy.
her. I was praising her. So,
God.
someone explained to me Ronda Rousey's Black Swan makeup.
Wait,
because
wait,
it was a
wait. Someone explain to me who's going to be our next general manager?
I don't know how I'm going to handle this situation until I think about it.
So, just so you know, you have 2 weeks.
Brother. So I have to pick a general manager and a pregnancy test comes back. 2 weeks is going to be very busy, Sonny.
Exactly.
So maybe you could pick Kevin Wood or Roger Adams.
I always been a fan of Wood, so we never know. So, yes. Anyway, back to SummerSlam. How do you feel about the title changing hands?
I was a little surprised by it, even though I knew it was going to happen, because of the fact that I felt like they were going to give her the title sometime around WrestleMania. But hey, you want to give her the title at SummerSlam? Why not? She's only had 3 matches. She it's not like she worked hard or anything like that. But hey, it is what it is.
What do you mean
She's
it's not,
Ronda
like,
Rousey.
it's not like she worked hard, dude?
She has not worked hard at all.
I mean, she hasn't been on the roster long enough, but she has had some really good matches. I mean, dude, I'm going to tell you right now, that match was pretty good.
Oh, no, that match, yes, it was. It was definitely
Yeah, so,
good.
I mean, that's, putting on a good match takes a lot of hard work,
No,
bro.
yeah, I know. She has had great matches. Especially, I personally think the match that she had with Kurt Angle, Stephanie McMahon, Triple H at WrestleMania 34 was a really good match, and that was her first one.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's like, I get it. The quantity of her work hasn't been ample, but the quality has been, and combine that with her notoriety.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that.
You put that with the fact that she's going to kind of spearhead the women's division. Mm-hmm. Even though to a certain degree, yes, it's kind of fucked up because, she hasn't been there that long, but all those women in that division will benefit from her being associated with it.
I agree with that. And also, she's probably selling a lot of merch as well.
Oh, yeah, without question. Teddy?
The only good match Ronda Rousey has done is with her hair and makeup. That's the only thing she's ever competed in.
Now with her makeup, because she was looking like Robin in
I don't know
SummerSlam.
where she goes, but with her little toaster strudel hair, it was too soon for me. It was too soon. I get it, notoriety, put the belt on her, but there are women who've been wrestling like 30-some-odd years. Shout out to Natalya Neidhart. It's like, why are we putting the belt on this 3 matches? And one of those was a tag match.
I agree with Teddy, but I also agree with Sonny. So my reply
You're
to
just the
you,
whore of this podcast. You just go wherever the wind blows you, sir.
My reply to you, what you just said, is what Sonny said earlier.
I don't know. I think it's a bit too soon. Not that I wanted it on Alexa Bliss, because she's like a mosquito bite, but
Alexa Bliss is amazing.
oh,
I'm actually beginning to agree with Roger with that whole decade of bliss.
Roger's never said anything good.
God.
I think it was too soon for Rousey, but maybe her name will bring in some extra revenue.
Alexa Bliss might be top 3 of all, the women's division in WWE.
Top 3 woman ever?
No, not ever. I'm talking
right
about
now. Right
currently,
now.
right
Oh,
now.
right now?
Yeah.
Charlotte.
Sasha and then Alexa.
Yeah,
With Becky being 4.
maybe.
Where'd you rank for Ronda?
Oh, I mean, Ronda
7.
actually.
My number.
7.
Jesus. Yeah, Kervin's number.
I wouldn't rank her that. I would put Ronda in my top 3.
I think you put Ron in a few places, but that's neither here nor there.
Especially fours.
All fours. Speaking of all fours, Roman Reigns is the new champion. My knees have never been so scraped. Between Ricochet winning, Roman winning, Charlotte winning, my knees have never been so scraped. I was so happy.
You had a hell of a weekend, Teddy.
Hell of a weekend.
Probably got arthritis by now.
Oh my God, arthritis, gonorrhea, same difference. So Brock finally lost the belt. Does that mean I never have to see him again?
Not until after his next fight with Daniel Cormier.
Which will be in 2019.
Is it?
So
Yeah, supposedly.
Wait, when is? I thought it was supposed to be in December.
Supposedly it's 2019, or he's going to come back in 2019.
Oh, okay.
So what do you guys think? I know Roman doesn't get much love, but we do have a champion who will be on television each week.
I love Brock and Paul Heyman, but I'm glad the title's off of Brock because we can see the title on Raw every Monday being defended or even being shown.
Thank you, sir.
I entirely agree. Also,
This dude was
It
going
was-
like 100 days without defending the title.
yeah, but I mean, I wasn't mad at that because it's not Brock, it's Vince or the booking committee. They're the ones that are saying, yo, Brock, stay home. They could pay him to be there as much as they want. They can't afford it. You know, I kind of laugh every time people shit on Brock, but they don't really shit, about him not being here. But, I mean, dude, it's actually their office.
Yes, true, but, we're all of, similar ages. We grew up in a time where Steve Austin was on Raw each week. So we got a little spoiled seeing our champion. I mean, back in the day when Andre was a spectacle, we didn't see Andre each week, but we all grew up with the Stone Cold era. So we like to see our champion each week. I mean, I get what you were saying, like they want Brock to be a spectacle, but really, we'd like to see our belt.
No,
we will.
I entirely agree with you.
And if it's going to be around the handsome waist of Roman Reigns, I think that's what I call a win-win.
I love how the fact that they actually put Braun Strowman in that match, like him being outside the ring and saying, hey, I'm going to face the winner of this match.
I ain't going to stab you in the back. I'm going to stab you in your chest.
Yeah, exactly. Because it made people say, yo, there's going to be another match after this, so I don't have to leave. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, like people did in the last pay-per-view that they faced each other.
I mean, it was definitely good. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great match. It was a short match. I personally like matches like that because it's just two big dudes just going at it.
Yes, I've always been a fan of that too.
Oh, my goodness.
Shout out to Xtube.
Anyways.
Okay, so
Yeah.
quick. What would you give SummerSlam? Give it a grade, Kevin.
Wow, that's a great one. I'll give it a B.
Give it a B.
Maybe B plus.
Shout out to the B pluses. Sonny, give it a grade, SummerSlam.
I'm gonna give it a B also. I thought it was.
You two were very generous this year, SummerSlam 2018.
Nah, it was the matches themselves. B plus, build up. Oh God.
Could have been better.
No, I was gonna give it a grade, but I realized the grade I was about to give, and I just decided never
Oh,
mind.
no, I already know what that grade is,
Yeah.
Sonny. You don't have to say it.
Exactly.
Stepped on my joke, you bastards.
You don't have to know the grade, Teddy.
Let's just say it's a grade that Teddy approves of.
That's what I was going to give SummerSlam. That's why I said you all stepped on my joke, you bastards.
What grade would you have given it, Teddy?
You know what? I'll give it a B too. Why not? Charlotte got the belt. Roman got the belt. I can't really. I didn't walk away unhappy. So yes, SummerSlam gets a B.
I thought you were giving an A because of Roman Reigns, Charlotte,
No,
both winning titles.
I had to look at some people I didn't want to look at. So yeah, I'll give it a B. So not unhappy.
Okay.
It was a good weekend for wrestling, gentlemen.
And it was a great weekend for the Yep, I Like Wrestling brand.
Yes, it was. So
Yeah.
before I go, a huge shout out to Mr. DJ Storms, who joined me on some of my interviews, as well as Trayvon, Kevin Duran, Clark. Thank you so much for playing with us. It was fun.
Shout out to Clark.
Yes. Sonny, my Uber is here. I think it's time to take us home.
And that's a wrap for episode 36 of the Yep I Like Wrestling podcast. I want to thank you for supporting us, the Yep I Like Wrestling family, the movement, the YouTube, the SoundCloud, the audio, the iTunes, the Instagram, the Twitter, the MySpace, which is
Everywhere.
which is our running joke. I mean, we have a MySpace only because we kept on cracking jokes about it. But yeah, we freaking signed up for it just to be funny and stupid. But seriously, we thank everyone that's been supporting us. And if we're new to you right now, check us out. We're doing a lot of different things, and we'd love to have your support and have your viewership. So on behalf of myself, my name is Sonny Sofrito, and today I was joined by
Kervin, the co-founder of Yep, I Like Wrestling.
And I was also joined today by
The former general manager of Yep, I Like Wrestling.
the soon-to-be former. He got 2 weeks.
Goodness.
So make sure you just check us out. We're on all platforms of social media at YEPILW. And for all podcast platforms, just do a search for Yep, I Like Wrestling. Take care and peace out. Later.
While I pour him another Hennessy and ginger ale here. Excuse us. Sonny works better when he's fucked up, as we say in Newark.
Yeah, that's right. Do that shit like one of my hoes.
Oh, shout out to prostitution. That's how we paid for those sweet tickets, by the way, Kervin. I didn't want to tell that part, but I had to
didn't know
pay
that
for
one.
those.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
By the way, well, that's why there was a black car at the end of the night.
Oh, yes. My knees have never been so scraped,
Yeah,
but it was worth it.
You blacked out at the end of the night. That's
Yes.
why.
You got to
So-
pay for those sweet tickets somehow.
Exactly.
So you were saying, Sonny?
That's going to be a great outtake.
You know, every black car I saw walking, I was like, Sonny was joking, wasn't he? Because I walked to Nevin Street because it was so crowded there. I walked
Nevin
every time I
Street,
saw
wow.
a black car, I was like, he was joking, right?